Hello, trading is closed on September 6th, 2016. My last call said unless we took out this high promptly, ideally by gapping over it, that lower prices should print at some point during the day. We gapped up. We did not take out this high, missed by about a fraction of a point, and then we had lower prices during the day, so that worked. This is our MEJT target from August 29th. You can see it was resistance here, and today it was a good support level. No new MEJT targets that are required for tomorrow. We did get a sell signal early on. The minimum target was hit, but we almost always get more than the minimum. So optionally we have a good chance of taking out today's low, but it's not required. Later on in the afternoon, the system said that when we were dropping here, we'd retrace to this line. When we went over it, it said we'd retrace to the line again after this time. Well, let's look at the short term first and then look at the long term. Short term, the timing of this rally at the end is rather suspect. We have gapping up 2 days straight, can't make anything out of it. Can't clear this high until right at the end of the day when liquidity dries up. You have a wall into the close, and the close almost at the exact high. A high percentage of the time, this is met by gapping down when the market reopens. So I think there's a good chance of gapping down when the market reopens, and you'll recall, optionally we should undercut this low. Let's look at, of course, if we gap up instead, the call is killed before the open. Let's take a look at some more long-term stuff. We finally got bar number 13 without any early finish on the daily chart. We now have an official sequential sell signal. This marks the area of, not necessarily the exact price or date of a high. And if it fails, it tends to fail in grand style. We have 10 of 13 of the bars of a combo sell, but the last three don't have to obey all the rules. These two are close enough. One more rally would be number 13. If you look at the weekly chart, if we close over this high this week, and the high is 2193.42, closing over it gives you bar 13 without any early finish on the weekly chart, but of course bar 13 can finish early. So we're close to demarked sell signals on the weekly chart as well as the dailies. This is the count I'm using. Of course it might be completely wrong. It still looks unfinished to me, but if we get the expected drop tomorrow, and one more fling up, that could complete wave blue C, which would complete wave brown C, which would complete wave gray B. There are any number of ways to figure out targets. They don't all come up with the same numbers, which is too bad because then I don't know what's going on. But if you look at this triangle and see how these Fibonacci measurements from the triangle call the lows, I'm hoping to get a Fibonacci level defined by this triangle at the high, which would be 2196.67 for a price. And as far as a date, when you have a triangle, you look for a change in trend at the time when the lines cross. And this looks maybe later on this week, maybe September 8th or September 9th. So if we go up in the high 2190s in 2 or 3 days, that gives you a reasonable target, but I can't say it's a required one. I think it has a chance. One fly in the ointment for calling for a top here is that the breadth has not deteriorated, and if you're going to get someplace on the downside, you really want to see breadth deteriorating, and that hasn't happened. So even though we could be close, I'm not prepared to call for a top quite yet. For tomorrow, I think the odds favor gapping down and taking out this low, and if I'm wrong, it should be clear from the open, and that's today's call.